not alone. Good people will fight if we lead them.
People keep telling me they know me. No one does.
But I do.
As a Star Wars fan for many years, I was more than eager to see the final chapter of the Skywalker saga. Disney's trilogy wasn't held under a good omen for the past years, and with Episode 8, The Last Jedi, we got one of the heaviest controversies in Star Wars history. Now, I got the chance to see Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, 3 times. Last time in English, as you know, I'm from Germany. So here's my review now on Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
Look, sir, at my friends.
With changing directors between the films and having J.J. Abrams back in the cockpit after Rian Johnson, the chaos in between this trilogy was inevitable. For Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker is a more complicated thing than ever. Disney couldn't build up a big master plan within the last 2 episodes, therefore many things had to be corrected, and that is why so much is going on even in the first scenes of Episode 9. Many things are happening. It even feels like they were trying to rush a new middle section, a new Episode 8, so to speak, in the beginning of Episode 9. And I do get why they did that. Overall, they wanted to make a conciliable ending, and from my point of view, they achieved exactly that. Yet they invested a lot of screen time to solve previous issues. It's a pro on one hand, because fans will of course receive many answers, and fan service is a big thing for this one again. On the other hand, it's also a con, because the film can't build up itself. Too much is going on too fast. Everything needs to get in this episode, because we didn't put it in the previous one. I don't think that's Episode 9's fault in general, but rather the mismanagement of the trilogy as a whole. I went to the movies with these thoughts exactly, and therefore I was rather pleased afterwards. They needed and wanted to save what can be saved and restore what has been damaged. It's important to realize what you connect with Star Wars, how you connect with Star Wars, what it feels like. It's family, heart, mystique, exotic worlds and creatures, and of course epic space battles and lightsaber fights. You get all this in Episode 9. The story arcs aren't that original, yes, I give you that, but they don't have to be if you ask me. Especially because J.J. Abrams brings his own vision to the big screen. Accept the past, embrace it even. The thing is, it contradicts everything what Rian Johnson wanted to do, breaking old habits.
Let the past die. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
You don't have to reinvent the wheel for Star Wars to get the audience's attention, of course, but a new spin is always welcome. And there are new things to see in The Rise of Skywalker. Not everything is just like, okay, here, have some old stuff. No, there are new things. I just can't get into detail, for this is a non-spoiler review, of course. The cinematography was awesome, the movie looked great, the sounds were astounding. Gosh, I love the sounds, especially within the battles. And, well, overall you got the right vibe of a Star Wars film. Yet, there's a lot of potential for other new things that weren't used. Maybe because the producers wanted to go on a save on that one, or because there was just not enough time. That is very unfortunate. Just think about Finn, who is such an interesting character, with John Boyega portraying him excellently since Episode 7. I really wish they did more with him in Episode 8. Due to the lack of that, we can just start with his real development in Episode 9, which is fine, I guess. At least it's something. It's hard to... I don't find the right words. It's just like Finn got potential that we couldn't see in Episode 8, so they had to start with it in Episode 9, but it's not too late, but there just wasn't enough time for him as well. In this final part, our main characters get Nonetheless, a pretty sweet resolution. Once more, I can see that a middle section is missing for a greater character development. I just mentioned that with Finn. And that's such a shame, but I'm glad that episode 9 at least went forward with the characters anyway. The side characters, they were brilliant. I loved many of them. This time, they weren't that central anymore, which is good. You don't expect too much during the film with a side character, and you don't get too little. On the contrary, I will hold 3 characters, especially in a good memory. They got some nice short scenes and had a little impact on the plot. Overall, I was very interested in them and happy to see them on the screen. The baddies and the goodies, by the way. All in all, it doesn't sound that cheering, I give you that. Yet I was very entertained with that episode. It even got some breathtaking scenes where I was sitting in the seat looking confused and in awe to my friend sitting next to me and was like, is that real? Did that just happen? On other occasions, I could sense why producers went in a certain direction. They wanted to find a coherent ending for a rather messy and controversial trilogy. It was nothing too fancy, but rather a safe version for the plot and for the characters as well. That's okay, I guess, even though a lot of questions arise even now. With more screen time, those questions could have been solved and the plot would have gotten a better build-up, I assume. This last trilogy of the Skywalker saga isn't all of a piece, but finds a conciliable and emotional ending. Now, we can move forward. We got The Mandalorian on Disney+, Season 7 of The Clone Wars is in the making, and about to come as well as a brand new series about Obi-Wan Kenobi. And Disney can learn from the last Skywalker trilogy.
Yes,
because as Yoda already said,
the greatest teacher, failure is.
If you haven't seen the film, go check it out for yourself and come back with your thoughts on Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. And as always, may the Force be with you.